Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from CASA of DuPage are Tammy Satina and Keisha Aiken. So nice to have you both here. And I'm going to start right out with you, Tammy. What is CASA?
CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and we are appointed by the juvenile court judges to speak to the best interest of children who are involved in the abuse, neglect, dependency, and private guardianship system. We are appointed to 100% of the abuse and neglect cases in DuPage County. We recruit and train community citizens who are willing to commit to working closely with a child who is involved in the system. We offer a vigorous 30-hour training to our volunteer advocates in order to prepare them to work closely with the children and in the court system. CASA was developed in 1977 by a juvenile court judge in Seattle. His name was Judge Sukup, and he came to the realization after working in juvenile court that even though there were a number of people involved in the juvenile cases, there were caseworkers, lawyers, public defenders, state's attorneys, sometimes probation officers, parents, foster parents. There was no one there representing the people who the case was about, and that was the children. So he conceived the concept of court-appointed special advocates. We started CASA DuPage in 1993, and we've been going strong ever since. Our advocates do so much more than just attending court hearings, though. They are generally the only person in a child's life from the beginning of their case until the end. Children might have different caseworkers, different attorneys, different therapists, but typically their CASA advocate is the person who is with them through the entire journey. Our advocates do everything for the kids. They're there through thick and thin, and usually the one person who is their consistent. Our cases typically last about 3 years, so it is a huge commitment that our advocates are making by doing this, and we could not function without our advocates.
Yeah, it's a very tough thing that the kids are going through, but to have somebody kind of with them on their side, right, that's so important. And Keisha, I know that you've been an advocate, so talk a little bit about that role.
Right, so my role as an advocate is to effectively speak for the best interests of the child. So say, for instance, the child feels a certain type of way and they are scared to express these feelings, but they've told me. So I'm the person that will come to the judge and let them know how the child is feeling.
Okay. So you really are kind of the eyes, ears, and in some cases the voice, right, for the child?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
I am.
So talk a little bit, Tammy, as far as what your greatest need is right now for CASA DuPage.
As I said earlier, CASA could not exist without our wonderful volunteer advocates. Last year, we served almost 400 children. We had 150 active advocates approximately, and we have 150 advocates at any given time who are assigned to cases. So we hold 2 trainings per year, and I would say that one of our needs is always to have advocates participating in our training classes so we can assign them to the cases to speak to the best interest of the children. If someone is not interested in becoming an advocate but would like to be a part of CASA, you can always be a friend of CASA by supporting us with our events. We are solely funded through private donations, our fundraising events, and grants. So get involved in our events. We always appreciate it. Come to one of our events, volunteer. I think you'd like us. Check us out, get to know us. That's a great way to help as well.
Okay, that's good to know, because maybe I'm not quite there yet, but maybe getting to know you a little bit better would help me get there, right? So that's a good way to get involved. Keisha, as you kind of think about, if somebody's interested in becoming an advocate, talk a little bit about maybe your personal journey and what you would say to them.
My personal journey, so the child that I have now, when I first got her, she was 15. She was very reserved. She didn't want to deal with she wasn't sociable. So I presented to her that starting a journal would be a great idea for her so that she can write down her feelings, and then to also jot down what her goals is and where she sees herself in, let's say, 6 months, 9 months, a year. So that has helped with her. So now she's outgoing She registered for sports. She did track last year, and she's going on her junior year of high school. So she did complete 360. So me seeing that, how she has expanded on, the way she thinks and about things, shows me that I'm doing my job as an advocate.
Yeah, that's nice. That's got to be very rewarding, right?
Yes, very.
Yeah. So Tammy, I mean, we live in DuPage County, and I think it's certainly a very affluent county by most standards. And I think a lot of people sometimes don't think that, we need CASA or we need some of the other social services that we have. So what would you say to them?
Abuse and neglect know no boundaries. It crosses over every economic and social line. Domestic violence exists in every community. Mental health issues exist in every community. The problem everywhere. So what we want to do is help and offer the services. We are the only agency that does what we do. So it is a great need that we fill in the county.
Yeah, there isn't anybody else that's going to step in if you don't do it.
Exactly. And as I mentioned, we cannot exist without our volunteer advocates. Because we do get assigned to 100% of the juvenile court cases in the county.
And is there any sort of, if you will, almost like a profile of an advocate, how young, how old,
There's a place for everyone.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay. But is there a minimum age?
Most of our advocates are a little seasoned. We do get a lot of people who are retired.
Mm-hmm.
But we also get a lot of young people who are starting out in their careers. So no, there's no limit in the age that we take. Children have all different ages and needs, and we try to match the right advocate with the right children based on their age and background and what they're interested in. And we try very hard to put the right advocate with the right child.
Okay. We're summing up, Keisha, what would you say to somebody sitting here who's thinking about it?
I would say it is very rewarding. And if you are compassionate about how children are treated, you should go for it.
Nice. Thank you both for stopping by. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. If you're interested in becoming an advocate or finding out about other ways you can assist CASA, please go and visit their website.